I will do that. Okay, thank you. Okay, good morning. I think everybody's in here. My name is Mark Buslick. I'm the district commander here in the 19th district. I want to welcome you back to 19. This seems to be kind of a regular thing. I've just been told to let you know that the superintendent has to beat it out of here pretty quickly when we're done, so there will be no questions until he's done at the City Club. So thank you all. I want to welcome everybody.
That means we can't do our 14-point healthcare plan.
No. I want to welcome the mayor, superintendent, all of you, our elected officials. We're really pretty thrilled to have everybody here. As you know, as part of the police department's really plan for transformation, not just reform, technology plays a big part. And it's all about giving our officers crime-fighting tools that are appropriate to the times. And as a result, we've been able to acquire the automated license plate reader vehicles, and these are incredibly useful to us as we combat specifically auto theft, more specifically the occasional vehicular hijacking or carjacking. So we're very pleased that we have this opportunity to show everyone this kind of technology and what it means for the police officers on the street and what it means for the community and how we can keep everyone safe. I really don't have much else. I'll introduce Superintendent Eddie Johnson, and if there's any questions for me later, I'll be around here. It's my police station. Thank you.
All right, thanks.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Mark.
Yes, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning.
And thank all of you all for being here. So I'm pleased to announce CPD's latest investment in technology, which will allow our officers to be more effective in combating carjacking and auto thefts. I first want to specifically acknowledge Mary Emanuel and the City Council and all the aldermen standing here with us today for providing CPD the resources to be able to purchase and deploy over 200 license plate readers, or LPRs, as you'll hear us refer to them as. By the time we're finished with this program, every single district in this city will have at least 6 of these vehicles patrolling their streets. The technology is precise and quite seamless for officers. As the police car patrols in their areas, the LPR system provides real-time alerts to officers on vehicles that are wanted for a crime or are reported stolen. We'll also be providing specifically equipped mobile phones for officers that are not in LPR police cars that alert them to suspect vehicles that were observed by fixed or mobile LPR systems. As we continue to be proactive and recover these vehicles and arrest the individuals driving them, we'll begin to create a culture of accountability among offenders that commit these crimes and make our city streets safer. As many of you all know, we saw an unacceptable spike in vehicular hijackings, and we responded with a cohesive strategy that leveraged the power of state and federal law enforcement officers to hold individuals accountable. Now, not only did these officers and our partners reverse the increase from 2018 or 2017, but we closed the year with an 18% reduction in carjacking incidents, and that was not by accident, and that's a significant number. For the first time ever, the Chicago Police Department and U.S. Attorney John Lausch prosecuted a carjacking offender federally, which sends a very clear message to those who wish to engage in this reckless conduct. This latest investment of license plate reader vehicles will establish a watchful presence of police and city resources that are constantly patrolling our neighborhoods. This latest tech initiative was implemented with the integration of our strategic decision support centers, where police officers and civilian crime analysts monitor pod cameras and scan databases to identify stolen vehicles and the individuals that commit these crimes. So with that, I really have to reiterate that I want to thank the City Council member, the aldermen that are here today, and because I know it was a huge lift for them to provide these resources along with the mayor. And without further ado, I want to introduce my biggest supporter and CPD's biggest supporter, Mayor Rahm Emanuel.
Thank you. Thank you, Superintendent. And before I go on thanking everybody else up here, I want to thank all the residents up here. I want to thank all of you. You have days, you have your job, you have your families, you have other obligations. The fact that you're here is a testament to your partnership with your police department and your aldermen. And so to all of you, thank you for advocating for your neighborhood and your community and the people that you also work with in the community. I want to say and talk about this investment, but talk about it in the context of what we're doing. The whole strategy for the city of Chicago is about putting more police on the street, getting kids, guns, and gangs off the street. This investment today builds on the fact that the city of Chicago, we were just with the superintendent on Saturday, where we announced another 99 officers were hitting the street. Later this month, there'll be another 100 officers at the back end of January that will also hit the street, graduating, and every 30 days, another 100 officers all the way through July. And they're getting the most up-to-date training. So while we're adding more officers with the best training, to complement that training, you also need technology. To give you a sense of the 50 new license plate readers coming on, in the city today, before today, there are only 44. So we're adding 50 this month. Next month, another 50 license plate readers. In March, another 50 license plate readers. And in April, another 50 license plate readers. So we'll go from 44 to 244 in the city of Chicago. So to all those people who are stealing cars, carjacking cars, I got a word for you. There's 244 license plate readers coming on the streets of the city of Chicago, and they're looking for you. Okay? And so when the superintendent takes note, and I noted to all the aldermen, in the last budget, that's exactly what we voted for. And the budget took effect literally just 7 days ago. That's how quickly this is happening. We've already, as soon as they passed it, I told the superintendent, put the order in. Don't wait for January. We know it's passed. Get these on the street immediately. This backs up, and I want to take the time, and I want to echo and underscore what the superintendent just noted. Last year, the U.S. attorney in the city of Chicago finally prosecuted a carjacking case. That put all the other people. So there's technology, there's the federal law, and there's more police officers. Putting all those people that are carjacking or stealing cars on notice that we have more resources come to bear on this problem. And Springfield passed legislation that helped enhance some of the prosecution at the local level. Now, to give you a context, I think it was December 20th down in the 4th District, I have the microphone, the superintendent can't correct me now if I got it wrong, but there was a carjacking on the 18th, and the 4th District's all the way on the southeast side of the city of Chicago. Because of this technology, they stopped the car. They knew it had been stolen. It had been carjacked 2 days later, and in the car was an individual with a gun. And that was when we only had 44. By April, by the beginning of spring, 200 more license plate readers are going to be on the streets of the city of Chicago. Minimum, as the superintendent said, 6 per district. That's exponentially increasing the capacity and the eyes on carjacking and stolen cars throughout the city of Chicago. I also want to take this time to say, and the good news is, and I want to make sure while we're doing all the investment in police, doing the investment in technology, making sure that the U.S. Attorney, because of our workforce and our task force, is helping us prosecute those cases. I want to also take a moment to thank the governor-elect, Governor Pritzker, for agreeing to now do a gun licensing bill tracker just like the city of Chicago, and he'll make it one of his first bills he'll sign, and that will also be another tool we have. Rather than it being vetoed, we have a governor now that wants to sign that bill. It's exactly modeled after what we do here in the city of Chicago, but we all know because of Indiana, Wisconsin, Cook County, and the rest of the state, we're not an island. And we need the state of Illinois on our team working to make our streets safe, and I want to thank the governor-elect for agreeing that's going to be one of his top priorities and first bills that he signs. Now, I think you all know this, but you have a great, great alderman in Tom Tunney. And he has been, now, I'm going to run out of this door because I know as soon as I'm done introducing him, he'll have a request that he'll leave right here of something I haven't done.
It's already in your pocket.
Yeah, so it's somewhere, but the truth is, all the aldermen here advocate for their constituents. They all do a great job. But the 19th district, you have Alderman Kappelman and Alderman Tunney, specifically where we are today, and a bit of Alderman Smith also, who has mainly 18. I couldn't see the perspective. No, that's okay. But the fact is, Tom does a tremendous job of making sure all parts of his ward are represented. Everybody is heard, from the small businesses to the residents who've lived here a long time to the residents who moved in just literally 3 hours ago. And like all the aldermen, they are working incredibly hard at making sure that the resources the city are bringing to bear, whether that's new officers, new technology, better training, new schools, new libraries. I don't have to mention the fact that while we're making this announcement here, that in not short order, we're going to be actually making the investment to convert the Merlot Library to a 21st century library. Tom has done a tremendous job in partnering with the superintendent and myself to make sure that here in the greater Lakeview community in Wrigleyville, that the resources we have, that the fair share of them come to his community and neighborhood. You wouldn't be here if you weren't to actually understand that your alderman is your advocate, and he does a great job, as all the aldermen up here do for their respective neighborhood and community. But we're here for a reason, and the truth is this could have been done anywhere, but he has been talking about the issue of stolen cars and carjacking. You don't want to have a situation where a mother's unloading the groceries, kids are in the car. That happened in Lincoln Park about 1.5 years ago, where the police officer in 18 did a tremendous job, but there was a child in the car. This is not just about somebody getting in a car or whatever. Somebody's unloading groceries, somebody's doing other things, the kids are in the car, we all balance those things before, and you have a situation where something that is, God forbid, you don't even want to think about happens. And we have an alderman, and all the aldermen, as I said, but specifically Tom, does a tremendous job advocating, making sure that the resources the city's investing in the future, a police department we can be incredibly proud of, and making sure that the technology, the latest state of technology, comes here to the greater Lakeview area, and that's why we're here. Tom.
Thank you, Mayor. Good morning. Good morning. Obviously, I want to thank the mayor for his very generous remarks. They're not always that generous.
Correct.
But also the superintendent. I think superintendent was maybe 1 year ago that you came and you did a community meeting. I think it was in this room, addressing the needs of not only the quantity but the quality of resources. And this is what this press conference is about today. Obviously, the mayor talked about our residents here. These are our CAPS people. These are the people that are working day in and day out with police to make sure this neighborhood stays safe. And as Alderman Burnett and Alderman Thompson was not alluded to in the introductions, we all work for public safety in our neighborhood. It is the #1 priority for our residents and our businesses to keep our neighborhoods safe. And while this area is safe and perceived to be safe, carjackings and nuisance crimes are a really big deal to these neighborhoods. And with this, I was listening to the mayor, and I wanted to give him a little byline. It says, for these carjackers, we have your number now with this new technology. And I would be scared to be doing the kinds of bad acts that they're doing. I thank the superintendent and my colleagues for our budget. Our budget is a set of priorities, and public safety is our #1 priority. And we've got the best of officers, and I think now some of the latest and best technology, because you know what, folks, it's not always about quantity. It's about quality. It's about the tools and the training to give our police officers the equipment and the morale to keep this city safe. And I really feel that this is not only what we're doing today, but the direction of our city and the respect for the police department, and also the training and technology tools are so important for us to be in this city. I've lived my entire life in this city, and and I'm not going anywhere. And I'm not going anywhere as a representative of this ward either. But I want to tell you that I can't do it alone. We've got great neighborhood organizations. We've got great participation with the police. We love our commander, Buslick. Commander, thank you for your service. We have our Jonathan Lewin, who's a resident of our neighborhood, but lives in the 46th ward. I do know that too. But chief technology guy, and you've been a great team player. But I just wanted to say, on behalf of all us as elected officials, that we work for you, and the police, and we as elected officials. You are our bosses, and we will do whatever we can to cooperate and to work with police, work with community groups on how to keep our city safe. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay.